Welcome back to the episode. We are again in front of a desk, and there's Rolan. Maybe we can talk to him. Maybe we can figure things out. And by the way, we are in Sorcerous Soundries. It has something to do with like Lorroakan, the Night Song, and Tharkiak Codex, and all of this stuff. We're going to talk to everyone around here first, or like next. We've read an awful lot of books first, and now we are going to talk to those fellows. And maybe we can even buy some interesting books or whatnot. There's an awful lot of magic being performed in here. Very interesting. So, let's talk to Rolan.
You! What are you doing here?
Wondering why there's still blood on your face. I know beating when I see one. Who knocked you about? This is actually the oh, charisma +2 up to 22. The birthright. Wow. Wow. Absolute wow. So a character that actually uses charisma to cast might benefit greatly from this one. You're gonna be kidding me. And you can also stock up on scrolls in here with if it weren't just for one simple thing. You do find an awful lot of scrolls already. Just don't use too many of them. And the price is just very, very taxing. So anyway, the Vest of Soul Rejuvenation defies Rejuvenation. Whenever the wearer succeeds on a saving throw against the spell, they regain 1 to 4 hit points. And there's also another item, I think it was a ring or whatever it was, or maybe an amulet. Maybe it was an amulet, whatever. That also does the same thing. The wearer can't use a reaction to make an unarmed strike against any attacker that misses. Greater shoot. Wait a minute. The wearer can't use a reaction to make an unarmed strike against any attacker that... Okay, so you're gonna get attacked, they miss, and reactions don't work, like opportunity attacks or like whatever, anything. Armor class +2, that's very interesting, because there's a standard 10, and it's just clothing, so succeeds the saving throw against the spell. So this thing here does not looks more like a monk kind of armor. A garment worn by one of 3 monks who fought together against Headless Serpent Secret Venom. Secret Venom. A gang in the port city of Nyanzaru, which was worn by Stiga Mokarkovskovich, whose stances moved fluidly, flawlessly, and who defanged the serpent one lustrous night. Mokarkovskovich. Yeah, it was kind of like right. And again, regeneration, combat regeneration. At the beginning of your turn, the ring activates and heals you 1 to 4 hit points. Absolutely great. The ring of regeneration. Don't I have something like... No, wait a minute. It's not... I don't have a ring like that. I do have other stuff. I think it was the helmet. Baldur's Vitality. The helmet heals you 2 hit points at the beginning of every turn. And then you have that stuff in here, which basically means like you can never... Okay, wait. One thing to definitely make sure... defensive strategies like this with regeneration are not strong enough in order to keep you alive for the whole of the fight. They can stretch it a little bit, but there's one thing that you are missing, and this is actually damage, or like something that makes it more likely for you to hit. Well, this is definitely not combat related, but anyway, something that makes it more likely for you to hit, or that increases the damage if you hit anything. Because an enemy that is dead or defeated is an enemy that cannot damage you, and if they cannot damage you, then that basically is like having additional defenses, right? So offense is the best defense in a way. But it only works so far, right? Anyhow, Quickspell Flinger. Cantrips that cost an action. Cost a bonus action instead. This effect can be used once per short rest. There's always this annoying limit, once per short rest. That's great. The thing is, okay. Once per short rest or once per long rest means you can only use it once in combat. One time you can use it, and then it actually has to work, right? But it still uses up a spell slot though. It's just that it's better for action economy. But could you have like better gloves also that improves it a little bit? Maybe. But the thing is, you can actually use a spell twice if you think about it. You may not run out of spell slots if you are a very high level mage in one fight. That might be enough. As long as the spells that you are casting are actually below a certain difficulty or spell level. Like, you cannot cast multiple level 4 or multiple level 6 spells or whatever. But you can definitely cast multiple level 2 spells. So if you cast, let's say, 2 level 2 spells, one with action and the other one as bonus action, you can definitely change the course of the fight a little bit. Now, it's just a question, do you want to deal damage with this kind of spell stuff, or do you want to use it as a manipulation strategy, like hold person or something like that? By the way, what's hold person? It doesn't tell you what level this spell is, sadly, because it does not need to. This is the power of spell scrolls. You're given this thing, you can read it, and it's basically like having it at max level already. And you don't need high level knowledge for it. The only thing that you do need is deep pockets. I don't use the weave for magic, no. I use money for magic. My money magic. I'm gonna throw coins at people and hope that they hit hard enough. So, the Armour of Landfall. You gain a +1 bonus to spell save DC, which is good. Green bed regeneration. When starting your turn on plant growth surface or vine surface, regain 1d4 hit points. Very interesting. Oh, look at this. Advantage on constitution saving throws, which is nice. That means you can uphold concentration. And there's also the plant growth transmutation spell. Question, how often can you use it? Make weeds burst from the ground and smother the area. Creatures moving through the weeds have their movement speed quartered. Question, if you cast these things yourself, are you affected by the negative effect of it or not? Covered by weeds. I think you're also affected by it yourself. Everything can backfire. What you have to wear, in addition to that, is some ring that makes it possible for you to ignore this plant stuff. Or like, I think it was a ring. I mean, whatever. Something else that makes you work together with nature. Harper, Sacred Strider, Spiritual Weapon. Nice. And again, the rest is just rather interesting. Scrolls, whatnot. You don't really need them. Ah! Okay, so, now, back to the whole reaction thing. I heard this was the place for spellcasting prodigies. Why are you here? Aww. That's not it. That's me. Did you see Aradin outside from the Druid's Grove? This is not it. No, our first reaction was, why does he still have the blood on his face? So...
Nothing for you to worry about.
Oh, really?
His voice catches. Something's wrong here.
And also...
But never mind that. What can I do for you?
Yeah, I do mind that. And, yeah, so many people ask about the Night Song. I have information on the Night Song. Night Song, she's in my camp right now. I'm here to shop. Okay, so too many people ask about the Night Song. Yes.
It's all I deal with these days. People claiming their trinkets are the real Night Song. Looking for the mountain of gold Lorroakan promised. There's even a pamphlet. Take one. They're on the desk.
Nice. I do have information on the Night Song, though.
Be very sure before you make to visit Lorroakan. He's got a beastly temper. But if you really do know something, he'll want to see you. Head upstairs. You can find the way into his tower up there.
Wait a minute, so there he has a personal tower? Either he has a personal tower or the upper parts of Sorcerous Sundries are his personal tower, whatever.
How can I help you?
Yes, I could buy something. I really would like to buy some. The thing is, if you buy the Charisma helmet, that might be a good one.
Excuse me, can't stop. There's only so much shopping time left before the Absolute breaches the city.
Really? That's the thing he's most focused about. Shopping. I mean, I can kind of understand that, but still.
You've a particular water elemental appears to turn towards you, showering everything with a bracing mist.
How nice is that? But what about the lava thingy? Wait a minute. The magmatic regeneration. Every time it stands on lava, magma, whatnot, it regenerates, which is a very annoying trait that this thing has. The thing is, you have to lure it away from the surface, but then it can create the surface the next turn around, so you have to constantly make it move. So the only thing to counteract that is absolute destruction, pretty much. No, not absolute destruction. You need something that turns this lava surface into something else.
The lava elemental looks at you placidly, near unfathomable heat beating against your face.
Why do we look at it so angrily? It hasn't done anything yet. Thalatar Cross.
Have you seen how much the prices have risen? Might as well be throwing my gold straight into the lava elemental.
Is there a reason why you're here shopping for things? Hidar Cross.
I want a pet elemental, but Mumbus says I'm not old enough. I wouldn't let it die like the goldfish, though.
Uh-huh. Well, maybe if he's like old enough, he can summon his own little elemental. But yeah, what about this automaton? Nothing. Okay, absolutely nothing. And then we have like Alice Althea and Cordrane recent. Yep, definitely recent, but still weird. Alice Althea.
Do you think that zombie looks fresh? Is fresh good? I never know with zombies.
That's a good question. Is a fresh zombie better? Or is a decomposed zombie better? Because the more decomposed the zombie is, the more like illnesses or whatever it can accumulate. Or maybe, actually, wait a minute. An illness happens because there are bacteria or viruses inside a body. And they have to spread somehow, right? But the thing about viruses is a virus does not live by itself. It needs some host machinery to recreate it. And that host machinery has to be alive and working and doing a thing in order to recreate that virus. So a virus is as dependent on the organism that multiplies it as the organism is dependent on a virus. Maybe not really dependent on a virus, but it's more parasitic kind of thing. But in this case, you're just befallen by the virus. You recreate the virus, but then your immune system notices that this is basically not a good idea, then fights the virus, and off it goes again. But in this case, it only works when it works together. And if a zombie is not alive and and its cells are not working, then it cannot amass a virulent power, right? And therefore, it does not. Yeah, it's not damaging enough, right? Because what you want is a zombie full of like infectious diseases and whatnot. And then you just throw it at the enemy, and then you're just happy. The other way would be bacteria. Bacteria are actually much better because they can live on their own, and they just use the zombie creature or whatever it is as a food source mostly. Or maybe they also use the machinery in the body in order to supply them with, with whatever material that they cannot produce themselves or that they don't want to produce themselves or whatever. Or maybe they just need a certain amount of warmth. That's also a thing. A body is warm, maybe bacteria like it a little warmer, or certain bacteria like it a little warmer. Therefore they like to stay inside bodies. Because it's cold outside. What about the zombie then?
The newborn zombie gazes at you hungrily. pus drooling from its slack jaw.
Okay, want some brains. Why are zombies even hungry at all? I mean, the idea is that a zombie is always brain hungry or whatever, but in this case, that itself might be some kind of disease. Some hunger disease for brains. Or maybe even human flesh. Whatever. Cordrane the Recent.
Apologies. I'm with a customer at the moment.
Wait a minute. What?
Quiet, please. I'm trying to decide if shelling out for one of these things is worth it.
If you need to decide if it's worth it getting a zombie or not, then getting a zombie is maybe not worth it at all. The idea is, you want a zombie, you go in here, and then you buy the thing. Or maybe she was just window shopping, but now we have a zombie waltzing about, and he can't sell it. It's definitely not so good. Okay. Tolna the Tome Monger, we're going to talk to her in a moment, but first we are going to talk to Tiernan Won't. Won't?
You're a fellow bargain hunter, I see. The hidden gems here are far better value than the rare books Tolna keeps locked behind the desk.
Oh, rare books behind a desk, now we know. Hidden gems. I have not seen a hidden gem here. And oh, there is a hidden books behind a desk. There are hidden books behind the desk. There's no check or anything. There's just a pile of 2 elements there. Books and rows of books. If I interact with them, I'm gonna kind of lose my standing here, which is definitely not nice. So what about those ones? Shauna Huanji.
Would you mind if I finished browsing before you muscle in, please? I was here first, actually.
Yeah. You can do that if you want to. There's a blood bank. Look at that. Alright, what about Lester Furrower?
One moment. I'm trying to work out how many pinches of mugwort is equivalent to one of Mother's Leaf.
Huh. That's a good question. Too bad I don't have a good answer for that. Alright, and Kappa the Lorries and Hector Roba. What about those two?
There's not much left. Looks like folks heard the Absolute was on the march and bought everything that wasn't nailed down.
Where is the famous Lorroakan? His shop is a nutter shambles.
Nah, everybody's just a little pissy about the whole place. Good. Now, about the whole tome business. Maybe I can get a few more of those books, and then I can read them. Haha. More backstory. Yes, so.
Literature department. Can I help you?
Why are you whispering? Huh, a quiet haven surrounded by books. I could get used to it, yeah. Why are you whispering? Again, exactly my reaction. The thing is, it's kind of nice to just react to them first and then select whatever your reaction is. A Hunter's Guide to Hags. Oh, look at that. Anyway, and what your reaction just happens to be. Most fitting too. That's pretty neat. So yeah, we're gonna take like that. And we're gonna take one of those. Wizard Nerd Lorroakan, Editor's Edition. Ye whatnot. School of Abjuration. There you go. And I think... Wait. Impractical Magic Volume 2? Wait, what there's? I wouldn't know what Impractical Magic number 1 is, to be honest. So let's just buy this one as well. I think that's it. Origins of Mystra, yada yada, Spellplague, wait a minute. Volume 1, Volume 2. Okay, Necromancy. I think I've read this one together with the Necromancy of Fae somewhere. But okay, let's just balance the order real quick. Barter it away. then we can like read that thing. So let's see. Before we interact or do any other stuff, let's just read that. Da-di-da-di-da-di-da. And this one goes into Karlach's little inventory. There you go. Much nicer, much easier to read. A Hunter's Guide to Hags. An excerpt from A Hunter's Guide to Hags by the legendary dwarven ranger Amandine Hardwood. Text in this excerpt has been underlined several times. All but the most arrogant of hags, from knight to burr, know that death is a possibility. As such, they won't hesitate to bend the rules of the material plane to escape death's clutches, returning stronger than ever. To do this, hags use, of all things, the common and humble mushroom. By imbuing these spore-producing fungi with her essence, she can endlessly revive herself. Neither blade nor bow will do these fungi lasting harm. The very twisted magic that heals the hag defends them. Instead, fire is your ally. Burn the mushrooms to ashes and your blade will strike the hag's heart through. But a warning, hunter, even in death, a hag is dangerous. Be quick, be swift, and be deadly. Okay, but what if there's still some spores left? Kinda sounds like orcish plagues. Once it starts, you can't get rid of it. The Shadow Weave. A cautious treatise on the power of the Shadow Weave. The author talks about the formation of the Shadow Weave as a counterpart of Mistress Weave. The Shadow version is in some ways more potent as a source of magic, but it's also unreliable and volatile. Shah, Mistress of Shadow, has a much more fickle nature than Mistra, and according to the author, this manifests as a seemingly fraught and dangerous position, as vigilant, dangerous, to those who tap into the front of arcane access that is. Interesting. So there is a shadow version of the weave. But could it be that the shadow version of the weave is actually the normal one? That's weird. So there's the weave, and then there's the thing that is not the weave. And the thing that's not the weave might be the shadow version. There's order, and then there's some chaos. So, Wizard of Note, Lorroakan, Editor's Edition. This book appears to be a bespoken edition, not mass-printed like others in the series. A note is affixed to the first page. Dear Sir, though I appreciate your attempt to contribute to our popular series, I'm afraid we are not accepting reader submissions at this time. Furthermore, I would recommend our fact-checker, Hope Kandor, for your personal employ, should you wish to attempt to publish this volume under a different name elsewhere. Kind regards, Embra Coil. Ye Follye of Karsus. Oh. This ancient water-damaged tomb is largely illegible, except for the following. Did Karsus, mystic or autodidact, in all his vainglory, disdainful as ever of received wisdom, proclaim that, crisis-bound, he would safeguard the magic tapestry of all wizardry by supplanting the failing weave-god Mistral with another immortal guardian, wiser and stronger of mind? Who could that be? Asked the TheNefaris, amazed, and Karsus gave them reply. Who but I? Have I not mastered all spells that are known and diverse, others that are not? Have I not forged this crown, thrice final, that shall convey into my brain mind all the enchanted wisdom of Netheril? Yea, indeed, and of Mistral herself it shall be so. Canst thou but wait, implored Lord Shadow, until... And then the whole stuff started. Schools of Magic, Abjuration. Creation and destruction, aye, they have their place. But what of prevention entire? The School of Abjuration is the great full stop, the no that meets the caster at the end of any phrase. Key terms: banish, prevent, safeguard, stop short. Key concepts: warding, counterspell, dispellations of magic, resistance. And Impractical Magic Volume 1. Could be a very funny thing to read. Extract from a book about the phenomenon of wild magic, related by the wizard Big B to his finest friend and equally accomplished sage Otiluk. Now, look, old boy, I'm not saying that it isn't terribly funny, hearing about a sorceress casting spell fly only to have his underpants turn into butterflies and his shoes into curry-flavored jelly. That is immensely good fun and ought to be celebrated. However, that gives me the heebie-jeebies is the notion of origin. Where does this wild magic come from? We know that sorcery and the like is genetic, that you're born gifted with magic. Does that imply some dominant allele in the sorcerer has overcome the recessive element, that chaotic curl of organic evolution? The wild factor worries me awfully, because if it isn't genetic, then what could it be? If magic is inherently insane, then that is a very big problem. That would imply wizards are wrangling something they could turn around and bite us, and that sorcerers are inherently at risk. Troubling, old boy. Troubling stuff. This theme covers the nature of dead magic zones. During an era called the Time of Troubles, a good many changes befell the world, not least of which was the fracturing and reassembling of the source of all magic called the Weave. Though much of the world has recovered from that era, some sites remain scourged of magical power, cut off from the Weave. They nullify all magic and spellcasting nearby. Very interesting, but there's still stuff happening there, which is weird. Okay, so now that we have pretty much read everything that you can get here normally, let's see what else we could do. So, I'm trying to find out about a particular Netherese crown. Have you anything on that subject? Yes, a book. I've just read about that. Actually, no. I just read something about Karsus, but nothing else. Anyway, why is she whispering?
These books are sensitive. They prefer an environment of quiet reverence.
Really? Either this or just insane. I'm trying to find out about a particular are we whispering? I'd be interested in any, especially rare terms you might find. Is that true, books? Are you sensitive? Yes. Oh, yeah. Actually, I would go with that one just for funsies. Okay. Oh boy. You know what? We're gonna... Oh boy. We're gonna shoot ourselves in the foot, but this is actually very, very funny. Let's go with that one. Is that true, bugs? Are you sensitive? Whew. Well, that just happened.
Look what you've done. By all the gods, I give my ear for the least bit of respect for the written word. Go at the clown on your own time. Come back when you've cobbled together some manners and are prepared to pay for the damages.
Oh boy. Okay, sorry about that. I know, understands books need to be well treated.
That's better. How can I help you?
I want my gold back. I'd be interested in any specially rare tubes you might have.
Bold. You might have heard that our library has a collection other shops would lack the skill to curate. Between us, even Master Lorroakan was reluctant to house them in his tower. The pen is mightier than the magic wand, apparently. They're locked away here for their and our customers' safety. Our finest reserve includes the Tharkiot Codex, the Annals of Karsus and Netherese Follye, Sights of the Sea, and the Curriculum of Strategy. Do any of those interest you?
All of them in the back, please. Thank you. Okay. Does she... She doesn't seem to have them in her inventory now, which is a wee bit iffy. But yeah, I'm actually interested in all of them. So, the Tharkia Codex first.
Interesting choice. If I didn't know better, I'd think you might have the necromancy of Thay in your possession. I'd advise tremendous care with the Tharkia Codex. The cost of unlocking its mysteries is onerous.
Well, so much so for that. Do I have the one in my inventory now or not? Weird. Does it show up? No. Does she get me that? Uh-huh. Or maybe it's just information on the books. Whatever. Curriculum or... No, Sides of the Seelie. What is that?
Its author was a spectacularly talented halfling. She was, allegedly, able to establish contact with members of the Seelie court. Can you even imagine what wonders the Fey Pantheon might have revealed? Oh, incredible.
So the pixie thingies, maybe. Okay. Curriculum of Strategy.
You've heard about the Red Knight, I trust? Devout strategist made exarch of Tempest. This treaty is a compilation of her own design, kept here on the material plane for the benefit of us mortals. Quite rare.
I'm gonna end up poor if that continues. Okay. And the Annals of Karsus, the Netherese Follye.
It is said to be written by Lord Karsus himself, the Netherese arcanist who attempted to replace the goddess Mystra, failed, and was banished for the attempt. Great magical knowledge lies within those pages, but not many can withstand it.
That's it. That's what I need.
The Annals of Karsus would no doubt have much to say about the Crone's true nature. If only you could read them.
Well, sounds perfect. How much for me to buy it from you?
Buy? Books as temperamental as these are not on sale. They are secured in our vault, where none can harm them, nor can they do any harm. Consider yourself lucky to have learned of such a book's existence, and then forget about it. The Annals of Karsus are best left unread.
Well, too bad. Surely some amount of gold that could convince you to part with the book. Okay. Deception? No. I came here all the way from Neverwinter to admire your collection. Gonna just peek into the wall. Oh, come on. If that would work, that would be amazing. Unless you want a very nasty paper cut, you're going to tell me how to get into that vault. Interesting intimidation. Wizard persuasion. Oh, this time with advantage. Isn't it your job to share knowledge and keep it locked away? At least tell me where the vault is. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna... Do we have more? No. We're gonna use the wizard persuasion thing, even if it may not work, but at least this thing has advantage on it. 16. Could work. Could also backfire, but let's see. Oh, you got to be kidding me. Let's just hope guidance gives us some bonuses. No. I got a -1 and a plus. You got to be kidding me. I don't have any inspiration. Why do I not have any inspiration charges anymore? They're all gone.
The vault is strictly prohibited for customers. If you don't cease this foolishness, the rest of Sorcerous Sundries will be as well.
Ach, come on. Surely there's some amount of gold.
Psst. I already told you. It is locked in our vault. And with good reason. Imagine if a tome so dangerous was sold to someone with such poor comprehension.
But wouldn't it improve my comprehension a little bit? Well, at least for now we've learned a lot.
You certainly have. Even simple knowledge of these tomes is enough to stimulate most.
But I've just known that there is stuff inside here. And not how to get that. So, wait a minute. They're actually very close to each other. Maybe I could throw a small potion on the floor. Like that one. So, throw, and I'm gonna throw it there. Easy.
Is that blood?
So, now Gale, maybe he has something to say.
This is hardly the time for idle banter. The annals of Karsus are here, waiting to be read.
Yeah. Oh. That looks weird. If we're given a rare gift and a sort of... Nope. Nope. Okay. Nothing then. What about the... Someone is conjuring rats and cats.
Very well.
And everything in between. Weird. So I need to get into that vault. Good. That makes things a wee bit more tricky now. Lorroakan, the tower, all of this is somewhere up there. The this could be a vault. And okay, wait a minute. This one is looking that way. This one is looking that way. And then there are windows over here. Not enough space, not enough space. Looks like I cannot actually teleport through that window over here. Would have been nice though. Every time you can be seen by others through windows if you try to steal things. But this particular window seems to be not working. Okay, so maybe I can open that door myself. That would be sweet. So let's see, let's crouch. And I do have a decent amount of dexterity that should maybe work. I don't know.
A double turn should do it.
Ah, maybe. Yeah, now we're gonna get the good stuff. Great.
I don't need any attention right now.
Alright. So then, let's get in here.
Watching me.
You've wandered into a forbidden area. You sense it might be time to leave.
Really? Sorry, thought this was the way to the Liches. I will be off. Oh, try to convince them you belong here. That's a good idea. Look at me. Do I look dangerous? Ah! Oh, crap. Okay, let's get out of there.
The only thing you've managed to convince them of is that you absolutely do not belong here.
Well, crap. The thing is, they turned around the moment I actually went inside this place, and I stopped crouching. And I think it's the crouching aspect that actually made it change. But the interesting bit about this armor is that it may not move.
I need a quick word.
This is not what I wanted to do. Okay. Good. Let's see. What happens if we try to do this again? This time with characters that do not stand in the vision code. Let's see. So, she's of course in broad daylight, which is not a good thing. I do have this aura around me, so let's just go a bit to the side.
The path less traveled.
Yes. And she's still in broad daylight. Good. Now, let's see what happens if we're just going in there. Closing that door. Aha! Easy mode. So, let's see. What do we have here for the start of heart? An alternative perspective of the weave. It's also Soundry's basement. There's a chest in the basement. A note from Vompter. Looks like I can just take all of this stuff. Doesn't really look like a vault. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh, Clasped book. That looks like a good one. Oh, we can just read it. Yahoy. Okay, there's a book that activates another portal. Very nice. So, what have we found so far? Officious note. Miklor, Master Lorroakan, has requested his Tome of Divination spells to be brought to the basement. He must focus without interruption in order to see the unseen. Since he refused to speak to me since the incident with the ape, I have no choice but to make my request in writing. Vompter. A note from Vompter. As he refused to speak to me following the incident with the three-eyed man, I have no choice but to make my request in writing. Master Lorroakan instructs you to bring his newly acquired lamp, the one with the djinn, to the vault, and store it behind the protective wall. It is far too dangerous to be left on display in the shop proper. Don't we already have interacted with that djinn? Schools of Magic Divination! Haha, look at that. The future is unknown. The present is mysterious. The past is gone forever, but for those devotees of the School of Divination, the veil of unknowability surrounding our world entire is thinnest. Key terms are seek, know, discover, and perceive, and the concepts are seeing, comprehending, guiding, and detecting. Interesting combination. All of this goes to the camp so that we don't end up with items. It could have a negative impact on us. I could try to use...
No one stopped me yet.
Yeah.
Another step forward. Just out of view.
Am I sneaking or not? Now I'm sneaky. Good. Yeah. Lockpick. Oh, maybe I should have used lockpick. Oh no!
You've been spotted fiddling with that lock. Best fiddle with something else.
Why, oh, why was this one turning around now? It's just not nice. Before it was working, right? And now it's not. It's really weird.
Don't give me trouble now.
There you go. It's working. Okay. So, who's the next one? Lizelle. Let's get her now. Okay, and save. Maybe I just failed the roll and that's what got the attention. And close. There you go. So, let's get all of the other stuff. Oh, path to Karsus. Yeah, look at that. Vloop, 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 vloop. And take that one. Apprentice Companion Book the First. Ooh, okay, so this is where the whole thing starts. There's a... No, there's not. Thought there was some interesting here. Okay. That it. Except for the cabinet. Okay, time to read. Get some water. So, what do we got? The ABC, the Lich, and me. T is for Tarulvar, Wizard Red of Thay. U is for the Empty Loop, the Death that does not die. V is for Queen Vlakiv, the Lich Queen of the Gith. W is for the Dread Woolgreth, the Scourge of Direwood. I think I have the ABC. I think I've found some similar books somewhere that also list things in a certain alphabetical fashion. That one is weird. Anyway, Apprentice's Companion Book the First. never forget the importance of spell components for casters of every make and kind. Verbal, somatic, and material components must all be utilized correctly, meaning one must be certain not to fall victim to silencing or restraining, which would prohibit one from casting one's intended spell. With some exceptions. Roland's journal. Oh. All has happened according to my plan. The way was rough, but we've arrived exactly where we are meant to be. Where I'm meant to be. Master Lorroakan is a braggart and a hypocrite, but he has what I need. Resources, knowledge, the ability to become who I truly am. Cal and Leah roll their eyes, but they least of anyone can deny my potential. They know what I could become, if only I endure a little longer. Ah, interesting. That's already read. And the path to Karsus. From the hand of Ramazith, what glimpse of magic's true import might silver hands proffer, take the promised hand and watch Abjuration cross its palm. For you too shall need protection from the purge of silver's fires. Only through its flames will Karthus' path be fit to follow. Okay, so we need to put some silver fire somewhere, but we need to get some fire protection with some abjuration spells. That's makes sense, but I don't know. Maybe I can just use some just some other kind of way. There you go.
One true way.
Maybe some other way to protect myself. Maybe some fire resistance potion or whatever.
Ripe with magic.
Okay.
Let's move.
So what we are gonna do is we're gonna move all together somewhere in there. The other way would be to use the portal
Should mind my step.
as a group. The thing is, if we were to open that, then we may have a little bit of an issue.
Don't be shy.
So, oh, what about her energy? Yeah, it's also cleaned up. Let's just open that up real quick. Okay, where do we actually end up at if I were to get in here? Sorcerous Vault. Ha! Look at that. The vault. Unlock the ancient tomb. Yes. And metal crates. There's everything around here. McClord's ledger. Some oak stuff. I'm gonna try to get everybody in that vault. So, let's see.
Into the shadows.
Let's hope this works.
Unheard.
No! Ah, this was dangerous. Dangerous stuff. And the second one. Oh! Looks like you can actually stand on the foggy floor, which is good. I just don't really know why sometimes those machines turn around. Come on. Okay.
If everyone else minds their business, I'll be fine.
Yes. Okay, broad daylight. Perfect. So, now that everybody's in the vault. Okay. Looks like this might be an episode for another time. And with everyone sneaking, we're going to end this episode and try to get whatever magical shenanigans are hidden down here. And the next one. Until then, like and subscribe as usual, and ta-ta!